Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on my thoughts on movies and stuff. Today's video is on Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins, a second attempt at trying to reboot the G.I. Joe franchise, and a third attempt at trying to make a G.I. Joe movie that'll actually sell. Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a G.I. Joe spin-off centered around Snake Eyes. Only his face isn't always covered, his lips are always flapping, and he's more of a crazy rich thorn in everyone's side. Now the guys are ready to suit up, but before we let them take the screen, do us a favor. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified about every time we upload. After that, visit our Patreon and let us hold $1. And as always, a major thank you to our bros out on Patreon. Your names will show up at the end. Also, while I still have your attention here, I was lucky enough to be featured on a podcast called The Grown Up Kids Podcast, and it was great fun. We talked about the movie Tag, and I got to know the host, Leonard, and he's a really cool dude, and the link will be in the description if you want to check out that podcast we had. It was a great time, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys went and you followed them and you gave them 5-star on iTunes, and remember to say that the Netos sent you. All done subscribing? Great. On with the show. Snake Eyes. What? I knew this movie was going to land flat right from the beginning. How so? That tiny little opening with Snake's dad was a dead giveaway, which is ironic. And was it just me, or did that opening sequence kind of remind you of Mortal Kombat? It's just you, man. I knew his father was going to die the moment they started talking about safe houses. And why would he tell his son that it's safe when he knows for a fact that it's not? He was trying to keep his son calm? Why was he bothering to try and keep him calm? People were trying to come and kill them. A little bit of freak out is acceptable. He's the kid's father. He wants him to feel safe. He doesn't want him to just freak out. Well, maybe he should have. Could have used Snake as an extra pair of eyes to watch his back. Also, where were the Joes to come save him? Why didn't the Joes save him? They're a global organization dedicated to counterterrorism. They probably had things to do. Maybe he couldn't meet up with them. His cover was blown and he was in Washington State. You're telling me the Joes can't send him help in America? They can't even call him an Uber? I'm sure they had their reasons. Yeah, grooming young Snake Eyes into an assassin. Wait, are you trying to imply that the Joes deliberately had Snake's father killed so that Snake could eventually grow up to... Never mind. What did you think of Tommy and Snake Eyes? Why was Tommy hiding amongst the Yakuza? If he was just trying to kill his cousin, then it seemed to me like he would have had plenty of opportunities to do that. Yeah, but then he would have to fight all of the Yakuza on his way out. Oh, you mean the thing that ended up happening anyways? Okay, but how was he supposed to know that that was going to happen? How could he not? His cover was that he grew a beard and used an insensitive accent. He went disguised as a racist version of himself. Listen, this movie is just too nuts to take seriously. When Snake Eyes and Tommy were about to make their grand getaway, what did the Yakuza do? They gathered around their truck and tried to stab it to death. Nobody thought to just shoot them? Yeah, because there's no honor in using a gun. Anyone can pull a trigger. That's the whole point of a trigger. Any one of them could have turned Tommy into a hashtag. You just don't get it, I don't get it. Listen, man, I'll tell you exactly what I don't get. I don't get why Tommy is out here trying to turn Snake Eyes into a housewife when he's clearly for the streets. A housewife? For the streets? What are you talking about? It's either that or he was trying to pimp him out. He just met the dude and he's already flying him to a new country to meet his parents. He just wanted Snake Eyes to work for him. On the corner, maybe. Stop it. Hey, it's not my fault Tommy wanted to play Captain Save-A-Ho. Besides, if Snake Eyes saved Tommy's life, why is Snake Eyes the one who ends up having to take this stupid ninja entrance exam? Yeah, I can't explain Also, that. I'd love to blame Tommy for adopting a stranger he barely knew from a notorious overseas crime syndicate, but since this movie is named after said stranger, I just have to ask. Yeah, what? Don't you think it's so funny that somebody called Snake Eyes was just so much of an asshole? For what? What do you mean? He showed respect to everyone. Literally everything that goes wrong is Snake's fault. He is literally a home wrecker. That's not fair. Not fair. Guy 1, he literally stole valuables from their home to pawn off like some sort of crackhead. Only because he wanted revenge for his father? Yeah. And all it cost was the razing of the entire Arashikage compound. And for what? He was blinded by his own vengeance. Oh please, he was blinded by his own idiocy. Cobra played him like a fiddle. And now, thanks to him, Tommy is off running around calling himself Storm Shadow and wearing all white in an attempt to be edgy like some sort of angsty teenager. Honestly, after a moomish that bad, I'm surprised Snake Eyes is still alive. I don't even know how they offered him a job. Okay, there I agree with you. I mean, yeah, Snake Eyes is meant to be a good guy, but at this point his loyalty is so questionable. I don't see how anyone else could trust him. Listen, much like the greats before them, Ethan Hunt, James Bond, Austin Powers, it's proof that even in the world of super spy counter-terrorism, you can only get a job if you know somebody on the inside. That's facts. But of course the Joes offered him a job because he'll probably take whoever they can get. Throughout that entire Arashikage fiasco, they sent in one operative. One. It's no wonder Snake's father had no backup back then. They're understaffed. But I don't know, guys. What do you think? Was Snake Eyes the vivacious reboot that the G.I. Joe franchise needed? Because it really wasn't. It really wasn't. This movie tanked so hard, the producers owe me money. I did have an alright amount of fun, but knowing that I could have had more if this movie had just made sense really irritates me. We go from Yakuza trying to shish kebab Optimus Prime, to a half-baked love affair between Akiko and Snake Eyes, to a sun crystal that sets everything on fire. I'm not even kidding. I'm not joking. A sun crystal that sets things on fire. And this is meant to be a serious film. This is a serious film with serious actors who are a serious counter-terrorist organization. No, seriously, I couldn't make heads or tails of this thing. At some point I felt like I was watching Snake Eyes in the Chamber of Secrets. Also, I have a question, and I feel like it exploits a massive loophole in this movie. If the crystal is meant to channel the power of the sun, then shouldn't the Arashikage just outfit their soldiers with sunblock? Imagine your super powerful crystal gem being thwarted by SPF 50. I laugh at my own jokes too much. And I just have to say, Tommy was wronged. They did Tommy dirty. Everything he did, even his use of the crystal, was an attempt to try and keep his family safe, to try and protect them and have them progress and move on and evolve into this more modern world. And he gets denied his birthright, yet Snake Eyes, who is the root cause of all the problems, gets a cool ninja outfit. Delusion! I'm sorry, it just makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense. Hashtag justice for Tommy. You can't do a man like that. That's wrong, man. But I'd really like to take a moment to highlight the actors' performances because Henry Golding and Andrew Koji were just so amazing, especially Andrew. He was such a believable Storm Shadow. Their chemistry was also electrifying, both in their dialogue and the physicality of their roles. I really felt like I was watching brothers. And the rest of the cast does an amazing job on screen as well. They brought a quality performance to a lackluster film that was actually my refuge in the times when things didn't make sense, like when giant snakes were coming out of tunnels and this was somehow still the same movie. The only performances in my opinion that fell flat was Scarlet and the Baroness. Those two performances just fell flat for me, and to me it just looked like their hearts weren't really in it, and I can't blame them because 30 minutes into this movie my heart wasn't in it anymore either. Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie a 37%, which honestly I think is quite harsh. I know that it's quite clear that I didn't really enjoy myself in this movie, but I think it did better than 37%. And IMDb gave it a 5.4 out of 10, which is rough, but at least it's a passing mark. I'm going to give it a 3.2 out of 5 because even though it did suck, I still did have a lot of fun. But that's all from me, guys. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified about every time we upload. After that, visit our Patreon and let us hold $1. And once again, thank you so much to our beloved Patreon bros, whose names are on the screen right now. You can take a look at these beautiful names, these beautiful people. Thank you for believing in our content, and thank you for supporting us for so long. We really appreciate it. And don't forget to check out the Grown Up Kids podcast. You can check it out anywhere where you listen to podcasts. And go listen to my episode and come back and tell me how I did, because I was nervous, but I'd like to think I did an okay job. I'm not entirely sure what the next video will be on. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see my thoughts on next. I do think though it might be on Reminiscence, the new Hugh Jackman movie. But you know I'll be here next Thursday with another video on my thoughts on movies or series and stuff. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.